All right, we are live. Welcome to Stitching the Miles Together. Can I still hear you, Nicole?
I think you can.
I think I can. You know, it would just be some crazy crap if, like, all of a sudden, like, if you guys weren't with us last week. Oh, you know what? Let's probably get the introduction out of the way. So, I'll talk about last week. Oh, wait, we're ignoring last time, aren't we?
What?
Nothing.
What?
You look like you're waving to your, I don't even know. So, welcome to Stitching the Miles Together. This is a live podcast where Nicole and I are Yarny BFFs.
Yep.
And we talk about everything. And people would listen to us banter back and forth, and they would say, "You guys should really, have a show." So here we are.
Here we are. This is what happened. This is the
This is what
result of
happens
all
when
of
you
those.
listen to people.
Yeah. I'm trying not to listen. I'm
I
sending
know.
this over to my page here real quick.
Oh, because I'm on a computer and I can too. Look at that. So I am Heather from Heatherson's the Yarn, and I am located in Put in Bay, Ohio. And Nicole is known as Know-It-All Nikki pretty much everywhere on the interwebs, and everyone else calls her Nikki. I just call her Nicole. So you probably shouldn't do that because
Stop, dog.
And she's got a hiding dog. She's not really, yeah. She's got a Tito,
No.
right? Tito?
Yes, I have a Tito. I have a Tito burrito. But then I also have my dumb dog, Missy. And Missy is obsessed with Tito. I mean, that's
too funny.
Obsessed. You're gonna have to go back up there, and you're gonna have to lay down. He is my cat in training. Actually, I'm dog sitting. I'm dog sitting for a friend, and it's fun. Missy, get your face off of him. This is gonna be a good time. I can tell.
It is really going to be a good time. So, this is a step up from last week because for those of you who don't know, we started this podcast a few years ago. Nicole and I met through blogging, where we both have blogs, and I'm Heather Smith Yarn, and she is Know-It-All Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very excited to learn that I knit, like when we, or as Vivian calls it. She's like, "Oh, Vivian is my my granddaughter." Vivian says, "Oh, you're yarning again."
You're yarning.
You're yarning.
You're
So
yarning.
I'm going to share this to my page, or not to my page, but to my, okay. So we're gonna get out of there because my poor Wi-Fi is freaking out because, like, my phone is on my data. And I'm so glad I got in here to test beforehand, because last time we got together, it was fraught with technical difficulties. It was just crazy, insane. And I'm gonna just so I can hear her. She's very vocal today. So
nope.
So we had to go from platform to platform, and that was it was kind of crazy. So today I got it all worked out, but when I couldn't have both my phone and the computer on the Wi-Fi.
Right.
It was not working. I was freezing. So I have one on the Wi-Fi and one, because I have to, my laptop, my picture is horrible. Like I look like there's no contrast. My laptop is very old. I need to get a new one.
Here, go down here, play with her. Go do zoomies. Have a good time.
All right.
Leave out of the room to do zoomies. My God. It's fine.
Well, clearly, Nicole is not working on anything except for getting some dogs to play, at the moment. But
yeah, no.
So
I'm not knitting on anything, but I could be.
You could be. Do you have stuff within arm's reach? You should.
I do.
You said you were prepared.
Heather.
As I drink my afternoon cup of coffee, because we have now entered. Oh, look at you! In a basket and everything. Oh, nice. I have my stuff on the floor next to me, like over here. See, it's kind of down there.
This is me prepared.
I am even super excited.
To file a nail that chipped right before the show.
That's not drinking my afternoon cup of coffee because we have now entered the season of early fall or late summer, when there's these freaking yellow weeds everywhere, and because their name is goldenrod, people think that they should live upright. Oh, the butterflies like them. But you know what? They're killing me, people. They're killing me. And if I don't perfectly time, so I have to take extra meds, which makes me sleepier. And plus my asthma and everything, is it's harder for me to, my body's working harder to breathe. I get tired. So now we're also in the season where I have to have an extra cup of coffee in the afternoon. But if I don't time this perfectly, I'm up all night long. Except
I don't have that problem.
yeah, my body is physically not up. It's just my brain. So I just watch a lot of, the British Bake Off. I'm a Bake Off nerd, and I don't even like to bake. That's why I'm a Bake Off nerd.
I mean,
Last
that makes
night I
sense.
was
Oh my gosh.
watching.
How did I get all three of you in here? I now have 3 dogs.
Got Ernie in there too?
Yeah, but he's laying down like he's guarding the whole thing. He's not letting people pass the gate. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your service.
He's like, you know what? You said you wanted a door, and here I am. Ernie, the door smith.
Oh my gosh.
All right, well, you're pulling out your... I'm working on this.
Heather, I am missing one of them.
What are you? Do you got to get up and leave me?
I might. I am.
All
I am
right.
missing one. I swear that I grabbed it. It's not on the table. Heather's face says it all. All right, Heather. I will just talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst
yourselves. So yes, so we can talk about other things that.
What? Puppies?
So my co-host is now a bookshelf of books. I'm gonna drink some coffee out of the mug that Nicole sent me from Alaska. This was totally coincidental that Nicole sent me this mug from Alaska, or not that she sent me this mug from Alaska. She totally purposefully sent me this mug from Alaska, but it's coincidental that I'm using it today when we're podcasting. I kind of looked to see what mug I was drinking out of. Most of my mugs are Starbucks mugs because I like that they stack, but now I guess they don't make the wish you were here or you were there
was in
mugs
here the
or
whole
whatever.
time.
Mm-hmm.
It was in here the whole time. It fell out of the basket.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
Probably because I had a dog trying to get into the basket earlier. I'll give you 3 guesses which one. First 3 don't count. Yeah, definitely her.
I mean, you would think to first blame the new dog that you're sitting because he's a little dog and he'd like, but no, I'm just gonna go straight for Missy. I'm just gonna jump right over because it's usually Missy.
It is. It totally, yeah, she's into everything.
Like when you told me that like she had an accident in the car on the way back, and I was like, of course she did. Like, because you know what? That's on her dog bucket list. You need to look around. I'm sure it's stashed somewhere, and she's got to check them off because, dog years click by fast. So like for every,
It's written on the inside of the crate. It's written on the wall inside the crate.
It is because, like, all right, check. You could just tell her that that's like, just eliminating in the car is just one check. We don't need to we're good.
We don't need to do all of them. Just
we don't need all of them. Just we're good with the one. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So okay. So what did you tell people about me while I was gone?
I told people that you bought me this mug, but I'm kind of tired because I've also worked all day long today. So and oddly enough, it's slower and my brain just can't seem to wrap its head around that. And so I can like actually complete tasks, and I don't know how that. I have a part-time helper, but I was telling them I was drinking my afternoon coffee out of my Alaska mug, and I said that I coincidentally was using it. It wasn't like purposeful, but first I had said that you coincidentally sent me the mug, but you purposely sent me the mug. That wasn't a coincidence that you're from Alaska. You sent me the Alaska.
It was funny because I think we both received our mugs at the same time.
That was fun. I did leave that part out of the story. In fact, I had almost I hadn't forgotten, but it wasn't like that wasn't triggered. Yeah. So when Nicole sent me this gift box, we were creating boxes for each other at that time. And when she sent me this, I had to I had to go upstairs and take a picture with the receipt. So she didn't think that I had done it like in response. It was like, oh my gosh, we were like on the same wavelength. But I think everything in our boxes was very similar that we were sending each other, wasn't it? It was just geared towards the other person, like our favorite snacks. And like, I think you sent me snacks from Alaska Alaska, I think is what you did.
I think, yeah, I
like
think
a candy
so.
bar or something. I don't remember. Mine was filled with a lot of yarn, a couple yarns and a mug.
Yes,
So
you had
yarn is always
yarn.
fun.
I got you some Alaskan Yarn Company yarn.
Maybe a tea.
And God, I don't remember. And the mug.
I don't remember what was in it, but the mug, obviously the mug is still here. So, oh, my toes are so itchy. So.
I might have sent stitch markers. It's been a while. We need to do that again.
I know. I have a box for you. Sorry.
There is a snowball's chance in hell that I would be coming home for Christmas this year. Pretty much.
Makes me sad. But it would just be an extra flight to come see me because by then the winter, it's winter time. So, but look what was found. Tony found the mouse. I had I had the dongle. The dongle was in my knitting Stitch Notions bag. The one, and so I pulled it out the other day and I was like, oh, I don't really want to throw this away. I'm sure this mouse will turn up sometime. And I went into work and the mouse was sitting on my desk. I don't know where it was. Tony said he found it, so it probably fell like it was on something and fell, or I don't even know. But I'm just like,
yay! It was a happy accident.
I'm so excited. I am so excited because this mouse is like the perfect. I love my mouse. It's like perfectly fits in my hand. I think you were the one that turned me on to them because this is like my third one. I just go through them. They die, and then they're like $10. So if they die, it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. But
although I think they're now, the last one I got was $14.99. I think they're now more than $10.
I just want to tell you that I still have the same mouse that I had before I moved. So I don't know what you're doing to them.
Well, because I do a lot of my my Photoshop work, it's a lot finer. So you're not going to notice the stuff
clicking.
because it just ends up dying. It's just not it's not as accurate and it gets jumpy and stuff like that. They die. I mean, I could probably, it's kind of like those things that, you can, like your AA batteries, like if they, like I have a little milk frother that's battery operated. But when it doesn't froth the milk anymore, you know what? Those batteries will work in the remote control for the TV for like a year. So we take our batteries that are dead and other things, and we put them in a Ziploc baggie labeled remote control batteries only, and we try to use them in the remote control. It's crazy because Jeremy's like, those batteries don't require. It was his idea, and we seem really cheap, but it really works.
Right. Okay, Heather.
Yes, ma'am.
You got to talk me down.
Oh, what's the matter? What are you not seeing?
I still wanna cast on. I still want to cast on for the mystery knit along with Stephen West.
Are you not looking around at all the stuff? Okay, so the other day,
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now.
Ooh! Before I forget, it looks like Messenger has taken their limits off of audio messages. Anyways, Nicole and I, we don't, because of there may be, but I was talking with someone today and they sent me a 2-minute and 50-second message and I sent back a 3-minute message. So, but I mean, even 5 minutes would be good. We could try. I mean, I don't care. But anyways, we can talk about that afterwards. So Nicole and I, with our 4-hour time hour difference, we don't. So we send each other voice memos back and forth. I mean, we text back and forth too, but not on texting. We keep it all in like one platform because we go back. We when we're looking for other things, because like we really are. I mean, we're best friends, and so we tell each other a lot of things. And so sometimes we need to remember and go back and see what that thing we, like for dates and stuff like that. So so we used to talk. And we've tried different apps, and then we found limitations in what we don't like, and we always end up going back to Messenger. That's what's funny. But like Messenger was having a lot of issues, and then they capped the audio message at 30 seconds.
No, it was a minute.
It was a minute. Oh, that they upped it. That's right. But a minute is still not long enough, and it would just turn off. And so you couldn't.
It's not long enough. When I'm talking, it's definitely a minute is not enough time.
And so because of the 4-hour time difference, sometimes I'll wake up to messages from her and she'll wake up to messages from me. Well, sometimes if we haven't talked in like a few days, those are really long messages. Like sometimes it's not uncommon for me to wake up to like a 9-minute message from Nicole, and it's like, oh, I gotta. Okay. But the nice thing about Voxer, which I still love about Voxer is, and I give as much as I get, so I'm not like, but mine are more like she'll have like 15 2-minute messages from me, so I guess it's even worse. But mine are mostly stories about customers after they come into the store.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love to wake up and hear customer stories. It's my favorite. Like it's almost it's almost something that you have to do with your morning coffee. Like you sit down and people read the paper. No, I wait for Heather's messages to come in.
Well, it's like it used to be on the radio, and that's the rest of the story with whatever his name was. And I would like shoo the kids, we would turn it down, we would listen so we could like learn things. So you definitely learned some things. But anyway, so now we're on Voxer. And the one thing I do like about Voxer is that you don't have to physically be in the app. You can do other things while you're listening to the message. So I can like check email, I can do other things, and Voxer also has you use the PC-based part of it, right?
Yes.
So, and not that Messenger doesn't, but with Messenger, you have to physically be in the app to listen to stuff. So you can't multitask. So, but we could definitely try. I like the photo quality better in Messenger, and the photos are more reliable because sometimes we can't open up like things like in GIFs too. Sometimes we can't open
it, or it takes forever for it to show up.
Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I'm not a fan.
So yeah, I know you're itching to. So Nicole, I might get a message from Nicole telling me that she's like, so what do you think about the Stephen West knit along? And I was like, dude, I just sorted through all my stuff. That's going to be a hard pass. That's a no, because look, here you go. So we've got one. We got the one from last year.
Yep.
There's oh shit, it's just all trying to get all tangled up. Shawls are trying to get all acquainted with each other. And then we've got the one from the year before.
Oh, and that one wasn't okay.
Got a bonus one.
Who has a bonus one?
Because I have a bonus one because it was a knit along. I guess it was the hybrid knit along. That wasn't a mystery though. So I've got that here.
But I only have 2.
I know, but that's still. So when I told her this and I explained why, I said I have 3 shawls. I'll probably work on them during this time. And do we want to do some show and tell now? Do we want to show off the shawls that we have?
I mean, we can. I haven't. The only one I've been working on,
Well, but just to show the progress. I haven't worked on any of these, and because this is what I'm currently working on. This is called. Well, I've got a lot of work in progresses over here. This is my work project, but I thought it'd be a good podcast project because I don't have to really think about it. The pattern. It's called Head Sock. It's a knit 2, purl 2 rib, and I'm into decreases. But I've already made one of these hats. It's called Head Sock, but it's made out of sock yarn. So you can get 2 hats from one skein yarn.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But it is perfect. So this is my perfect podcast project because then I can just do this.
Okay, so
when I told her,
oh,
do I want? Well, whatever one you want to show me.
I was gonna say, which one did you want to start with?
Your oldest one, because I've got an older one. Because I did the one last year or 2 years ago. Remember?
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
my needles got too short. Yeah, so look.
And that's the one you couldn't talk me into. I was like, Stephen West, I can't do that. He's amazing.
Yeah, she was freaking out. She really was.
Sure was.
Like up until a few years ago, she really, and there's nothing, okay, so if you are a knitter or a crocheter and you're happy making hats, or you're happy making scarves, you're happy making washcloths, make whatever makes you happy, because really it's for you. Because if you came to my house and looked around at all my works in progress,
you would probably never want to pick up.
No, because I like a finished object, yes. Oh my gosh. And now I had Jeremy remeasure my body last night. And
this is the hybrid knit.
So yeah,
But it's
so
kind of
everything I've
angled.
been making was too big for me. So I'd like, but until a few years ago, Nicole would not, like, that's all she would make. She like didn't like, well, that's what other knitters would do, you know. But I'm like, dude, you're not gonna get any, like, you're not gonna learn how to do it until you do it. It's not just gonna be like you're gonna, like, you know, the knitting fairy's gonna come and tap you in the head with the needle, you know, sweaters. Just gotta do it. So Hybrid Knit Along is your oldest Stephen West shawl.
Yes, and I wish I could show you.
Show it up. Hold it up again.
I wish I could do a better job of holding it up, but it is. I'm at the end of a row. I'm getting ready to start doing those that second round of bumps where you drop 6 rows. Yeah, see, that's because
he does that in another. Well, he does that in another shawl. I've got one of those. That's where I am right now.
Yeah.
Whoop. It's not a fun time to be at.
But here's the thing, Heather. I am so close. Like.
All right, so hold it up again.
This is where I'm at.
Right.
This is next to the last page. That's all I have left to go.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
So, and I know it sounds like, oh, that's all you have left to go? Yes. But I have to do some of these 8 times, 9 times,
you see,
10 times.
Look at that behind you. See that thing on my couch right now?
I know. I remember when you did that.
I still have, it's not done.
It's not done?
No. I've got, let me hang on. I'm wrapped up in yarn. This is, I think I've got 4 rounds left on this thing.
Oh.
I pulled it out so I can finish it because, like, that's ridiculous. I have 4 rounds left on this. But, you know, whatever. I have 4 rounds left.
You could just end it there, though.
But it's not done. I could, and I thought about doing that with each and every one of these shawls that are in this pile of crap right now. But I really want to finish them. So, like, because my oldest Stephen West shawl is Shawlography. Or wait, Slip Stitch Extravaganza, I think, because Shawlography was one we did together, right?
Yes.
All right, so yeah. So this is Slip Stitch Extravaganza. And I put it in timeout for a while because I thought something was messed up, and then come to find out it was not messed up. I was just tired full time.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now. I thought I messed something up. I actually don't think
there's like 500 stitches on this thing right now. So it takes me about 20 minutes to do a row. And so it's very slow going. And then it got stuck away. To be quite honest, I stuck it away. It's so big right now. I can't even stretch it out on my needles that are like 60 inches long or 40 inches long. I can't stretch it out. It's so big. But it's, you know, I messed up somewhere in this brick slip pattern. I'm kind of grumpy about that. But these are the honeycombs. You'll recognize those from the, you know, like honeycombs that we did. Like he uses a lot of similar elements in his shawls, like, and you're learning. It's like a big old sampler, you know. Yeah. So this is that one. And then let's see here, since I've got 3. So my one that I did from the Hybrid Knit Along, I did the woven chevrons because you asked about that one. I was so surprised. I was in the middle of this one. I think I might have finished it, to be quite honest, if I hadn't started this one with you.
Oh yeah, you probably.
And I'm not blaming you at all, but you know what? Of the 3 shawls that I have, this is the one I want to finish the most, to be quite honest.
Really?
You know what? I love the color palette. These are all a lot, like this one I picked. Remember, I had a shawl in mind. Like I had this shawl in my head. Like it was like Stephen West jumped into my head and was like, you know, I'm not very far though. I mean, this is gonna repeat. Like, but the problem is that I don't really. This was a transitional piece, and we were moving around a lot and stuff. And I just need to I need to put it into a bigger basket because this is just kind of, you know.
Yeah.
I need to just. I want to get some quality time with this one. I just haven't, and I kind of look over at it, and I just, you know,
you really
So this is woven chevrons. This comes in this the Stephen, like it comes in that Hybern Knit Along like booklet that you can get. I
Yes.
think that's how he sells
I
it.
think it has a hat in there too.
There. Oh, I almost made that hat, and I was gonna make it all in one color because I think it would be fun in one color. Because
Nice.
it's got like the things. But yeah, so this one is the one I'm most excited. But I can see myself wearing this one the most.
I know for a fact I'm gonna wear this one. If I
I
can
will
finish
wear all of mine
this fall,
or gift them. Yeah.
if I can finish this one off this winter or this fall, then I will be wearing it.
I think that you need to stick that one in your car.
You put this one in my car?
Yeah, with the pattern, because it's a paper pattern, and like put it in a basket or something, because you spend a lot of your time, and now with school starting, because you can stick those things on partway through the row. You just slide the stuff down your needles.
I know.
So then that way, that's the only thing you're working on. All right. So, okay. And then, so now both of us, oh wait, let me put this in the bag. Now, I'm not saying I like the colors that I picked for my
shawlography.
For shawlography. I wish he had said you're going to be dropping stitches, because the yarn that I picked, because I wanted to play around with it, and he was saying if you want it to like blend or we're going to do color work, so I wanted it to pop and grab yarn, and the yarn I got is good at making it pop, but you know what it's not good at? Dropping down 10 rows. Like I have to fight it, and I have to fight it all the way across. So I think I finally had gotten past that. I did, but that took me a long time to get past the.
Well, I think if you're fighting something like that, then the last thing, once you get through it, you're just like, you know what? I just need to be away from you for a while.
And now I'm at the point where I've got a crap ton of stitches on here, so it takes me a really long time. And to be quite honest, I haven't been in the right headspace to be able to do something like this, because now we're in the patterned part. So let's see. Do you want to see mine, or do you want to see yours?
Show off yours, because you're definitely further than I am.
All right. I don't recall what section I'm in, to be quite honest, because I don't have my Kindle open to that. And this is an at-home project. I know are you still down here in this part here?
Yes, I'm still there.
That was a tedious part. Once you get past that and you jump up to the next section, it flies by. But I'm going to tell you, it was kind of hard on my hands. But I have real bad arthritis in my hands, so I don't think you're going to have the problem. You'll fly through this next section once you get past it.
Got it.
So let's see where you are.
Okay, so I am still. I don't.
And I'll pull mine up.
I have just finished. I'm on the second.
All right, and I'm going to look on my computer, so that's why, because you're over there. I love that navy and how they're all kind of popping through it. That's going to be gorgeous.
It is. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous.
Like I said, once you get past that section, it's going to go quick. So this is mine. So Nicole is in this section here.
Yes. I'm like right there.
I know, as I'm grabbing, she's in the. So yeah. So mine I use. Okay. So what yarn did you use for that one? You use we went to, because you have 2 or 3 different. You have 2 skeins of Cascade Heritage.
Oh my gosh.
Sock, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
And then I think Manilatosh is your other ones, isn't it?
No, one of them I think is. Oh my God. I don't even know.
All of my yarn is Knit Picks palette, which Nicole has. I highly encourage you guys to go to our websites and stuff like that, because especially Nicole, this winter I'm going to be having a lot more things on my site and stuff for like affiliate marketing and stuff. And Nicole's really is with that. And so a lot of times, like Knit Picks, when I needed to go there, I used an affiliate link from her. I saved 20%, and then she also earned money off of my purchase. So anytime I want to purchase anything, I just ask her if she's got a referral link for that, like her passion planners, which she's going to talk about later.
I am, but right now I have to do my job as secretary. You talk about that. I have to text and make sure that Brian is getting picked up from the airport.
Okay. So this is where I got stalled at. All right, go check, make sure he's getting, and so you had
Okay.
to like drop 10 rows down. It was like craziness. So I'm loving it. I just was not in a good headspace because I've had some issues and stuff going on. And so like I haven't really knit, or I've knit and crochet just like small things and mindless things and things that were like in my brain. So, but yes, with this, what? Oh, I thought you were. So yeah, so the Knit Picks palette is very grabby. So when it grabby yarn is good when you're doing things because you don't have to worry about worry about it like the stitches dropping as quickly like you would in like a your face. You wouldn't have to worry about the stitches dropping.
Your nasty rubber soggy bone up here,
So
and there's yarn here.
She's not respecting art.
I wish I could show you the face she's making at me. There is yarn. You are in a no slobber toy zone. This is my dance space. That is your dance space.
You're so funny. So yeah, so grabby yarn is good because it doesn't drop down as much. Or as fast. They still drop, obviously, but so I had to fight all these stitches dropping down. But it's cool because you get this like folded over effect, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah, so I'm enjoying it.
I really want to finish this one this winter. I'll tell you what.
I'm hoping to finish this sooner than later because I will use all of these at work because I don't like I rarely turn the heat on at work. I'd rather have more layers on than not. So
I will be using them when I go to the library because the library always seems cold to me.
Oh, well, I bet. Well, we don't our machines put off so much heat in the store that I don't need to wear, or I don't need to have until it's like really cold, I don't need to have the heat on. But I don't mind it being chilly in there because I really like wearing my sweaters and all my knits and not taking them off.
So here's what I am predicting, okay?
Okay.
Prediction. I predict that I will get Winter Lights, which was the Hybrid Alone. I'm going to get that done, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe probably about the time we actually started it.
Okay.
Like what it started was like what, end of December, beginning of January or February?
No, we started that the day after Christmas.
Okay. So my thought
or no,
is
no. We went and got yarn the day after Christmas. That's right, didn't we? We started it on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. So I'm going to predict that I will finish Winter Lights somewhere around January. Okay. By the end of winter, I'm hoping to be / predicting that I will be probably about where you are on shawlography.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah,
well, and I can't make a lot of predictions because I've got knitting I have to do that I can't talk about.
That you can't what?
That I can't talk about.
Oh, that's right. Mystery knitting with Heather.
Mystery knitting. See, this is a good segue. I mean, so my daughter, my second daughter, my younger daughter, which is also my second daughter. Yeah, she is due with her first and our second grandchild in February. So I'm making her a blanket. And she said that she'd like blues or greens, and like she were like sage green or like a sky blue or whatever. And then she's like, whatever you do is fine, Mom. And it's a baby that's going to be born in February in Northern Ohio. So I'm excited. So I want to do like, I had an idea of what I wanted to do on my head. Like, because every time I do a project, this is how I know I'm a process knitter and not a product knitter, because when I'm seeking projects out, it's normally stuff that I don't know how to do yet. Like I want to learn more things and master things. I mean, this is, so I knew what kind of project I wanted to do just based on what I wanted to learn, or a new technique, or like not something I wanted to learn because I know how to do it, but I wanted to do like this the way I wanted to do it. So because I asked my daughter, do you want to pick out the blanket, or do you want me, because she's she really wants baby blanket for the baby, and I'm like, well, of course I make baby blankets for all the babies. Do you want to pick it out, or do you want it to be a surprise? And she said, well, I think I want it to be a surprise. I just want it to be like one of these colors. And I'm like, okay, that sounds fine. Well, I want it to have wool in it because I want it to be a natural fiber, but I want it to be easy care for. And so I decided I just look around. And I like touching my yarn, because if I'm going to be working with this for 1,500 yards, because I have the pattern picked out, and it's going to measure out to be 45 by 45. And I'm going to be working on this for a bit. 1,500 yards of yarn going through my hands. I'm going to want to make sure that I can tolerate touching it. And I want to see how it's made.
Yes.
So I want it to be affordable, and I want it to be easy care. And I also, things happen. It's a baby blanket. I don't want my daughter to freak out if something, I don't want it to be so expensive that she doesn't want to wrap the baby up in it. So, because it can get pricey for you to buy things. Some people don't realize, they see like I don't even know, like what's a cheap yarn? Like Slime Brand Thick and Quick, it's like $7.99 a ball or whatever, and it's like 80 yards. You like Red Saver, where you can get like a whole pound of it for like $6, but that is not something that I want to work with. I mean, I have worked with it, and I do work with it sometime, but it makes me like I actually. If I work with a yarn that doesn't have any natural fiber content in it, because I knit and crochet so quickly, I build up static electricity, and I'm shocking people more. My husband actually, I have a lot of static electricity anyways. So anyway, so I decided I'm going to go to the mainland. Well, I mean, I'm going to the mainland anyway. So this was just the other day, and I was just like, I need to get some yarn. And I was going to go to the yarn shop, but I had a friend with me, and she needed to go some places. And so I wasn't going to have enough time to go to the yarn shop before I, with all the other stuff going on, because the yarn store is over here and the rest of the stuff is like not in that same direction. I also thought I was going to have to go to Elyria, so I was just going to pop into Ben Franklin real quick, but that didn't work out either. So, because I didn't have to go all the way to Elyria. So, because I could have just called Ben Franklin, they could have pulled the stuff aside for me and had it for me when I got there. So I decide it's kind of lame that's in Sandusky. I mean that in the best possible way, but there's like 2.5 yarn aisles, and they're not awesome. Like, I've gotten stuff there before, but there's not a lot. So there is a Hobby Lobby, and I really don't like shopping at Hobby Lobby, but sometimes I have to shop at Hobby Lobby if I want to have it. It's just the way that it is.
It's just the way it is. Sometimes you don't have any other choices.
Right. So the perils of living on an island and getting to the mainland. Oh, you are like froze for a second. Okay, well, you're back, and it could have been me. So the perils of living on an island, that's definitely an issue. So I get in there, and my friend comes with me, and I'm like, I'm only going in to look at the yarn. I'm not looking at anything else, so if you want to come in, you can, but we're on a really tight schedule, and this is what I'm going to do. So we survey what's there. Yeah. So we survey everything that's in there, and I find a color I like. It's a wool acrylic blend. I'm liking how it feels. And there's like I don't know, there's like 200 yards maybe. So, I'm going to need 7 of them. There are 3. I'm like, all right. So then I look at this other yarn that's got it's more variegated. It's a wool viscose blend. There is 172 yards on this one, and there are 2. So I find this other one that is like blue, and it's not in the green family, and she kept saying green. She keeps saying green. So, because the variegated one was like softer, like the yarn was a little bit softer. It wasn't going to be as defined, but I think for a baby blanket that wouldn't be bad, and it was like, soft. So this other one was a salad. It was just like the first one and they had like 12 balls of this easy, so I could have definitely got it that.
Right.
So, but I go over and I find the lady working in the fabric department and I said, "Excuse me." And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Is the yarn that you have on the shelf the only yarn that you have of that stuff? Like, is there any more of it in the back? Like, could you go in the back and if I, gave you this yarn, could you see if you have any in the back?"
Right.
And she said, "I'm only allowed to have 6 balls of each color at a time," which is a lie because there's like 12 of this one color. So she says, "But I can give you a rain check." Like, not I can order you more. I can give you a rain check so the next time you come in, like, we'll have some earmarked for you because all the yarn is 30% off right now.
Right.
And I'm like, "Well, that's not really going to help me because what if it's a different dye lot?" And she's like, "Well, I was going to tell you that." And I'm like, "Okay, well, yeah, I understand." So my only
like,
recourse,
no, I
and I'm like,
understand more than you do.
but I'm like, but what I don't understand is why it's like 6 balls. If you are a yarn supplier, you should at least have a sweater's quantity of yarn in every color that you have. You should assume they're going to knit a sweater or crochet a sweater. And with crochet, it's even more than with knit because crochet uses 2/3 more yarn. So this is my pet peeve. I mean, I know stuff sells down and I know this and that, but to tell me that you're only allowed to have 4, maybe 6 balls, which in this one yarn is only 1,200 yards, which would not be enough for even like maybe a small sweater. But in that case, you need to be a little like, so I think that that's just kind of crazy. I don't think that you should have, and I know that like big box stores, like they clearance out their stuff and I can see why there's limits. I mean, me as a retailer myself, I only like carry about 6 of each thing. 6 is a good number because most of the time you're going to sell at least half of those things. And so half of the loss is so bad you're going to break even. I totally get why they can only carry 6 from a perspective of a, management in a retail location. But as a person that does this, that's not good enough.
Right.
And Hobby Lobby doesn't like allow you to buy stuff online. And so I went back over, and because her attitude wasn't awesome, and I was very pleasant because I know what it's like to be on the other end of crap ass attitude.
Right. But it's the front line. It's the front line that will break or make a sale.
Right. Well, and I think too, because I still wear masks when I'm in public everywhere because I'm immunocompromised. And so like, I will always, I mean, there are people on the island here that like live here that don't like when they see me out in the wild, like if I'm like outside somewhere and I don't have my mask on, like somebody had to actually come back. She apologized because she didn't recognize me without my mask. Because people see me with my mask, like most of the time people see me, I'm at the station, or I'm out and about in a public setting, like indoors.
Right.
So I wasn't upset by that. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Cause she looked at me like kind of when I waved at her. And then this particular person has a twin. So I thought maybe I was just waving at the twin and the twin was just being like kind and waving back, but it was not. It was the one cause I was like, I thought you guys looked a little like I've seen pictures of them. I've never seen them both together. So, but anyways, so yeah. So if you are a retailer, a purveyor, and I know not everybody can, and I don't know. Like
I think the one exception to that, what we're saying here is, if you're one of the bigger box stores,
you should
have a reasonable amount. Okay.
Right, because like I understand like the mom and pop stores, like in the small stores and the entrepreneurs. I know I know yarn costs money to buy, so I get that. Like I understand you have to buy that, so I don't expect you to have a humongous sweaters quantity of every single color.
Right.
I like the smaller quantities. I like the small batch. I like that. But if you're a big conglomerate like Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Joann's, you can afford. Right, because they're getting that yarn at a premium anyways, like so they can afford to have that much yarn on the shelf. Because you're not going to retain me as a customer. I'm not going to come in and hope you have some. Like maybe some people settle, but I don't. So when I went back over to that yarn that was kind of like an okay color, I wasn't sure about the blue. I mean, I liked the blue, but I didn't think it was quite the blue. And talking to my daughter, it was not quite the blue. It kind of reminded me of cornflower blue, I guess would be the
Okay.
blue it would be, which was nice, but not what she was describing to me. And she really is going on about this green. So I guess if you, my wonderful friend, or anyone out there that's watching this, if you have a good recommendation for a worsted weight wool blend that will be soft on baby and easy to like wash and take care of for a new mom, let me know, because I still have not ordered the yarn, but I think at this point I may have to order the yarn because I'm not sure if I want to, and I need like 14 and like I need 1,500 yards of it. At this point, I think because her shower is in late November, so that we can have it before the boats stop running. So I'm not sure if I want to have. I'm debating whether or not I want to have it done for the shower or if I want to have it done for when I go see the baby.
So here's my thought.
Yeah.
Encore yarn. God, is that Cascade?
No, I don't think Cascade is. I know what you're talking about. Is it I want it to have because I have to block it. It needs to like there's some lace work in it, so I don't want to.
Not sure.
I don't want to. I could have just got like that's my problem is it needs to have some sort of animal fiber, like at least 50% wool is important because I need to block it so it retains that memory because there's some lace work in it, and if it's not blocked, it's not gonna look awesome.
I'm gonna look it up, but I think I might have like a thought.
I think that's acrylic though. I think Encore is 100% acrylic yarn. I know I've used it before.
Yes.
So, but I like working with natural fibers too because if I do all acrylic yarn, I end up my hands end up cracking like all up in here on both sides where I tension the yarn with.
Right.
So.
Nope. Plymouth yarn is a favorite machine washable acrylic and wool blend, perfect for everything from kids' clothing to I don't want to pop up while I'm reading illegal little read-alongs with Nikki right now. Everything from kids' clothing to Afghans and beyond.
Nice. Okay, so Plymouth Encore. So if you've got some sort of link for somewhere that you need, so you can get referral stuff sent to my way, please.
I will look for that for you.
Awesome. So to get back, so I'm going to be. I knew I was tapping out of the Stephen West shawl market because I've got baby knitting I have to do, plus all the other like holiday knitting that I need to do as well.
Right.
And my personal knitting and stuff because I'm working on different things for myself and designing because I'm coming up with a collection, an island collection is what I'm doing. It's going to be a mix of knit and crochet patterns and I'm just going to self-publish. Unless, somebody wants to give me $1 million, but I'm just going to self-publish an ebook. So, and then I have some other things that, are coming down the pike, but so I knew that was going to be a big no for me, but Nicole sometimes just really wants to buy yarn. And so I gave her permission to pick another project that she would like to knit and buy the yarn for that instead.
All right, Heather. But
But
your argument stands both ways, no matter what I say. Your argument is valid no matter what I'm going to say.
Because it's not like if you don't buy it now, you're not going to get it. What you'll do is you'll get one PDF instead of however many he does. So it's just going to be one instead of many.
This is true. Well, he did say that you needed to have a cable needle. And so that's one of the things on my list to learn.
There's lots of cable patterns out there.
I know, but I think they're ugly.
It's like a cabled scarf or something. That's sad. Actually, one of the things that I'm designing is it got cables in it. So you know what? You've been wanting me to do a knit pattern. So you could just, please make a knit pattern so I can test it. You're not even looking. There you go. Like,
I'm knitting my own little mystery right now, okay?
Well, if you
It is.
need, if you need to like do it, I'm not going to stop you, but I'm definitely not joining you.
I know.
Because what I propose is during the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along this year, we work on our Stephen West shawls.
I
Stephen
think
West,
that's,
no longer a Mystery Knit Along.
I think
So
that
no longer a mystery
very,
Mal actually sounds interesting.
not a mystery.
Not a
I think,
mystery. Like not
well,
my
I
cat,
mean,
not my dog, not my
I
mystery.
plan on doing that anyway, you know. Actually, if he does another hybrid knit along, which he didn't do one last year,
Right.
but if he does
I don't think that
another one,
wasn't a
I will definitely sign up for that one because I really enjoyed this one.
well,
Despite
it
being
was
very
nice that wasn't
far
a
behind.
yeah. I enjoy knitting along, and we can still look, we can all knit along. We can make a big knit along because I know that we are not the only two people in the world that have unfinished Stephen West shawls.
No, no, we are definitely not. I'm still following the hashtags, and I'm
Not a
still
mystery shawl along. Because
that's a long hashtag, not a Stephen West MKAL.
yeah, well, we probably can't use his name in the thing. I'm sure that, well, maybe we can. I don't know. I don't want to like make, so we can. Okay. All right. But we definitely need to come up with something. We're going to come up with a hashtag. There's going to be prizes. If you finish your shawls, I will pull out some prizes. It'll be good because I got lots of stuff that I'm going through. So yeah, we are very excited about that. So if you also have a Stephen West shawl and would like to join us, we would welcome
Stay tuned for the hashtag because we don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to come up because I'm going to work on them, but it's not going to be, like I said, I have things I have to work on. And then I need to so I don't want to show this one. This is a shawl that I made. This is crochet though. It had to come out of my brain. So this was my, I don't know what this was. Oh, this was just, I needed to get something out of my brain, and it sort of worked, but not exactly how I wanted it to. So this is prototype 1. So my design process goes, I sometimes will write some notes down, but most of the time I just pick up some yarn and I just go to town. And as I'm knitting or crocheting, I'm making myself notes to remind myself of different things that I did. But most of the time I just go back and read the pattern that I've created out of my object.
Right.
And then but the first one I get it done, and this one is actually in 3 different yarns. I just there we go. It's in 3 different yarns because I ran out of the first yarn, and I just kept on going because I didn't want to find more. Right. So I need to weigh that and figure out how much that weighs and how much yarn I'm even going to need, and then figure that all in. Then I'll make my second prototype, and that one, as I'm making that one, I have I normally have a notes on my phone, but I think this time I'm going to actually use a spreadsheet because I've been reading up on spreadsheet designing, and I think that's really awesome because knitting and crocheting are just fine. So I'm going to use a spreadsheet.
I still need to design a pattern for those arm warmers I want.
Yes, you do. We've been talking about that for a few years. So,
well, I thought somebody was going to design it for me because she knows how to do that shit.
Somebody was supposed to help me with that stuff. You're supposed to send me your measurements. You never did.
It's small,
you sent me the EKG. What?
Never mind.
You're like, no, I want to do this. And then I'm like, okay, well, you got to send me your thing. So you waver back. I do have the EKG. I have your little thing. That's all charted out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. See, look, she lobs the ball into my court and I lob it right back. Isn't that fun, folks? So I'm going to I have to figure that out. And then, so if you are a knitter or a crocheter and you would like to test things, you should let me know.
Call Heather.
Call. Yeah. And then I am also test knitting something. We talked about that on the last podcast. Oh, that color did not work out very well. There was no contrast, but this is the state of that sock again. I had to rip it all back. It was It was quite long. It was like this long.
I was gonna say, didn't you go with something else?
I went with something else. I went with a purple that went with it. So here's the purple. It like really pops. Hang on. I can only grab this little one. I can't. There we go. So it shot across. Whoa. Geez,
And there it goes.
Yep. So there we go. So there's the purple. That's just a little tiny piece of it.
Yeah, I like that.
But that's not why, because I just ripped back enough and I redid the color work twice. So then I did the color work twice and I went all the way down and I did there's 2 Latvian braids. I did that and I got, I don't know, like 3 or 2 inches, and I was about ready to go into the heel, about ready to turn for the heel. And I said, you know what? I want to see if I can get this thing on my leg, on my foot. No. Because the color work was so tight and my arch is so high. So my arch is so high, the bone, like right, let's see here. I don't think I can bend my leg that way. Your foot's like here and your leg is here. And like this part of my leg or my foot is real high because my arch is high. So like I can't get certain boots on my feet. So I couldn't, like, I could hear it, the yarn straining. And if I would have tugged it on, I would have probably ripped some yarn. Yeah.
The yarn was crying out.
But the sad thing is, because my arch is so high and it does that, like my legs and my ankles are really thin. So I can't go up anymore. Like I went up several needle sizes already and then back down again. And it was already super wide. Like it was just kind of sitting, like that's how it would be. So I had to rip all the way back, and I have another idea. And so the designer and I are friends. And so I messaged the group and I said, I have to take back. I want to do it this weekend and reassess and everything. So, but This is my yarn on the Spellbound base. This was from Passion Knit Yarn. And you know how I thought it was going to be like a speckly yarn. Let's see if I had like the name of it, because I thought it was called Spellbound, but that was actually the base. The yarn is called Making Mischief. And you know what? Appropriate for the damn. Yeah, it's been. So this is actually a self-striping yarn. It's white and green. It's super cool. And that is why that pink didn't look good, because it's not quite as intense. And so it kind of all blended together because there's pink in there and the green. And so it just kind of blended in. Like, so the purple really popped. And so yeah, so we get to fun times. So, and speaking of passion, because
oh gosh,
passionate yarn.
That's a terrible segue.
It was a horrible segue, but yes.
I wanna deflect for a minute, and this is the book. Did I show you this?
You have talked to me about this book, One Ski Knits. Yes.
Yes. So this I picked up at Joann's. All their books were like 30% off. Nice. So this was only $14.95 to begin with.
Nice.
And so 30% off. I was like, yeah, mama gotta have. So I'm gonna be knitting some things out of this.
Nice.
And I've had some people go through it and already pick out what they want me to knit. There are some pages marked in here. There really are, which I think is hilarious. So I will probably be going. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. I'm going to be going through, and I'm working on something right now. It is a surprise, because if it turns out the way I like it, the way I'm hoping it will, it's going to make a perfect quick Christmas gift. And
that'd be awesome. All right, I'm going to stand up for 1 second because I'm hearing like a lot of like metal tinging on stuff, and like it's hitting something. And because the window is open and people are stupid with boats, I just want to make sure that there's not anyone like kind of stuck out in the lake right there. You can keep talking. I'll hear you. I just want to make sure that there's.
Okay.
I'm at a weird angle, so I can't see.
I know where you're sitting. So
yeah,
but
No, I think there's somebody dip netting out there and they're not supposed to actually be doing that. That's what I'm hearing.
Really? Lake Erie for dip netting?
Perch are starting to come out.
Oh.
Walleye at nighttime, big smallmouth bass, all sorts of fun things. But they set, it looks like they're dip netting because he dropped a buoy and then he's pulling it across and it looks like there's a net that's going across. So
it's possible.
But I'm pretty sure that it's like super illegal in the state of Ohio. So if you owe DNR, come on out. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
Well, you know what? I don't want someone to come back and be like, oh, you didn't claim that. Maybe I get in trouble. Like, I totally. But I don't know if I think that's what they're doing, though. Unless they're like, I don't even know. Sometimes they have little tracks that they set up with like they go out on boats and they do stuff. I don't even know. And I know they're training a lot of people around there's a lot of reefs that are around my house.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm trying to, I need to put that back on. All right, when I sit down to do this section, it's going to take my full focus, which it doesn't have. Well, because until then,
Skein wonders.
Yeah, it's just it's a simple stockinette pattern that requires a little bit of sewing. So
oh, your little, that's the slipper you're working on, right?
Yeah, see, it was a mystery knit. Thanks, Heather.
Damn it.
Just sit there and drink your Gatorade. I don't want nothing else out of you.
You went into deep detail of it the last podcast.
What?
You talked about it extensively. Yes. Oh, sorry.
Well,
so you were talking about it also. I was like, wait, and it came out because I was like, wait, you showed this to me in detail on the last podcast.
Yes, but here's the thing. We're pretending that one didn't even happen.
That's true. So let's just forget about that.
And it was just
all right,
so rife with, I mean,
it was bad.
I couldn't even sit down and watch it all the way through.
I listened to it though.
So you wanted to
okay.
You want to talk passion, huh?
Well, the passion planner, because you know what, I like all these knit alongs and all these things, because a lot of the stuff comes around annually. Like people do a lot of stuff annually, and a good way for you to do that is to write all the stuff down in your planner.
Yep.
If you don't have a planner, my girl Nicole can hook you up.
I'm not a dealer. I'm not a planner dealer. I'm just a fan. No,
and an ambassador.
I am an affiliate. What?
I thought they called you ambassadors. Aren't you ambassadors? Like passion.
Yeah. But I mean, see, an affiliate sale.
Yes, they do earn. She does earn little bits on the thing, and also if you tried to buy her a surprise, which I did not, like thank God I never have, but oh my goodness, she knows exactly what you order too. So
yeah.
So if you want to buy it for her, she won't be surprised when you send it.
Don't tell me about it.
Well, there you go. Just don't tell her. Be like, oh, that's why she bought that.
Yeah. Don't tell me. Just don't tell me that you're going to passionplanner.com to buy my Christmas present. Just do it. Just don't tell me about it. That's how that happens. But no.
Oh, my planner's in the other room. I was going to grab mine to show mine too.
They have. I'm a really terrible ambassador. Because I
have to like message her for links and give her like end times. Like send me your link by this time.
I have to have a deadline. The one thing that I'm very, very excited about is we have accessories. They have new stickers coming out. And one of them this year, oh my God, I'm so excited about this, is crafting. Yes.
I saw the email. It was nice they sent everybody out because I was gonna. I don't know. I had a lot of problems. They had a really awesome sale going on, and I am not a patient person.
Right.
I know I seem like it, and most of the time I am. I can sit and I can wait forever, but if I want to do something like buy something, and I no, after a few minutes I'm done. Like I'll eventually do it.
Heather has a problem for some reason trying to order through through her phone. And I don't know if it's a Heather problem because other ambassadors have not said anything, or if they have it, they're not, sharing that information.
Right.
But we have a big hub where we all share information about, problems, feedback, all of that. And they really listen, because these stickers were one of the, they were one of the, blah, 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 blah. One of the feedback topics. The only thing that I wish would have been in this sticker set, I don't even know if I see knitting. They have all kinds of stuff, but I'm not seeing knitting. So Heather,
really?
I still think you should. Well, they have a small thing here for sewing.
I have something in the peaks, and I don't know that I'm actually gonna do it through them. I may just have it on the website where you can like buy and when I get all the other stuff going. So
yeah, but I need you to get on that because you know what we need.
I know. Well, yeah, I know. Like you said, I have plans that I'm not going to.
Oh no,
I'm
wait,
not going to be building a store this winter.
They do have knitting.
Nice.
They have a page of knitting, but it's not what I need. I want a way to oh, you can't see it. I want a way to track
it's blurry.
Yeah. Right. I want a way to track things.
I have an idea for that. So.
Excellent. Get on that.
Yes, ma'am.
But they have a lot of new stickers this year, and I'm very excited. I got some of the new ones last year, and I really love them. I'm even sharing them with my little Tito, his owner. I ripped out, and this isn't always something I do. I ripped out a page from my sticker book and I gave it to them. And I said, here, because I think you would want these. And they were like, oh. And I also had a another daily planner. I had another.
Did you get the annual planner?
Yeah. I have the annual planner that is separated week to week. You have a month view and then you have a weekly view. I think I'm probably, when I buy my new planners for next year, I am going to go down in size because I have the large one. I have the large one for the week. This one, it's big. But I think I want to go ahead and go back down to the next size down, because I almost think that this is too much room.
Yeah.
And then that way my daily planner and my weekly planner will be, or my daily planner and my annual one will be the same size, which means Nikki has to get a different color for the weekly one. Otherwise, I won't be able to tell the two apart until I open it.
Or we can just like make you a label for the front of it.
Heather.
Yes, ma'am.
Fun killer.
Oh, I see. I thought I was just like, you get the color you want, but you can buy stickers, more labels, like fun. This is fun.
I'm gonna buy stickers anyways. I mean, look what I've done to this one.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. You could like sticker it up, like you could get like have like whatever. Giving you permission to jump through funnels, and you're all just like looking at me like I'm crazy.
Well, actually, I might stick with the large one, because the one thing I did like about this large one is I made my this is my vision board. Nice. And I made it right in the front. It's
right
front, cover. Oh, yeah, I guess so.
So I was like, that's the first I was like, oh, is it Yellow Day? All right.
What is going on here?
So Nicole is going to give us like you can she's going to give us a link after this is over. She's going to put it in the comments.
Yep.
And you can go there and check out Passion Planner. The thing that I really like about them is that they feel like everybody should have a planner and that like economic stuff should not like get in the way of that. So they actually have free downloads. Like you can print up your own planner for free from there's some stuff that I think is paid, but like for the most part, you like the trackers and like all these things are all free because they don't want there to be anything stopping you from like obtaining your goals. And I think that that's super awesome. And you know, I'm pretty excited about that.
I mean, they have all kinds of stuff that's free downloads. They have like a wellness check-in, a health and wellness check-in, like a mental health check-in, and they ask you pointed questions. But then they also have like, you know, journaling, like 30 days of journaling. They have the topics, you know, they have that all planned out for you, and then you journal on each one. You know, they have the same kind of trackers that you would find in other planners. They're free. So even if you don't use Passion Planner, you could still go download those and
I think that
them or stick them into the planners that you do use.
And go through Nicole's link so she's getting credit for you being there on the site. Because even though you're not paying anything, it's showing that every now and again when Heather kicks her in the ass, she, you know, talks about, you know, Passion Planner.
So if you go through the link, I earn like a 10% like affiliate sale. It doesn't change the prices of anything that's on the site. It's just I get 10% of that sale. The other thing is I also have a code that I will share that gives you a 10% off. So
as long as there's not another sale going on, you can only use one. They're not good about stacking things.
Yes, you can only use, so if they have another code for a sale, then by all means, I recommend using their code. But if it's just a sale where you can see where stuff is already clearanced or marked down, you could still get that 10% on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But but like if there's like, because I think when the first time you log in, it wants you to like, you know, join their email list, and I think you can get like a 25% discount that time. So you know, I would use that one first because your first visit, and then use Nicole's like, you know, for subsequent stuff, you know, too, unless they're not offering that. But every time I go onto that website, when I open up, even through your link, it's like, hey, do you want to, you know?
Right. Yeah, no. I get it too. And I'm, you know, I'm their biggest fan. So and I'm on the email list. But yeah, no, I really, this is the one planner that I think that I can stick with long term. I mean, this is my 3rd year being an ambassador. So I don't know if that tells you anything, but I really love it.
And you do love it. I think too, the I got a chunk missing on mine now. I think that, well, it's like, just I need to reshape it apparently. It's just like right
I have nails.
Kind of weird.
Look, I have nails. And I did have them painted. I just took the polish off yesterday, and I'm gonna redo, or I'm gonna do up them tonight.
Cool. So yeah, I use a planner for my I have Nicole has helped me because I did have planners and I wasn't doing well. She's supposed to be writing something for us to share about being a non-compliant planner, because really, if you follow the rules of planning, like if you like, I was struggling. It was causing me anxiety. So I've been waiting to write my thing because I want to link to her thing, but you know, maybe.
So I think that actually I'm really going to try now that my house is really quiet during the day, aside from the dogs playing. I think what I really want to do is make that a video instead.
I think that's a good idea. You could add that to your channel. Nice. And then link to it on your website.
Yeah.
But
so that's what I think that's gonna how that's gonna work out.
Because I have like a small or a medium undated planner, the Passion Planner that I got. I picked it up at a really good sale. I think I ended up getting it for like $4.99 each or something. Like I think it was Black Friday or something that I got it. And it was really awesome because I use it for my crafting projects. I write in what it is that I've worked on so I can go back and I can track it. So it doesn't necessarily, I don't, not, I normally work on something every day, but sometimes I don't. So it's nice because then I can just write in the next, the next day, so I think it's fun to like be able to track things like that. And I just write it out, like how far I got maybe, or different things that I did. So then that way, when I go back like through and I see it all, when I write up my project notes on Ravelry, I can go back in and just like look at all the times that
Right.
so I try to give each project its own color pen so that
Mhm.
way I'm going back so far to look, for that color. But yeah. And speaking of
That's one thing I
calendars,
don't do. I should. That's one thing I don't do, but I should. But I'll
for me,
share my
I'm
other
I'm
stuff.
I'm crazy organized.
I
So
know you
speaking
are.
of calendars, and it's not even calendars, it's through the end, I believe, of this month. A person that I follow is called the Cozy Cottage Crochet. She knits and she crochets. She's got a podcast. Her name is Hannah. She lives in Florida. I don't remember where in Florida she lives, but she talks about it. So, but she has she knits and she crochets, and she's a crochet designer. And she is doing a make along right now, and it's for a garment in the opposite season. So like she's like, we're always making these things, but we're not. So she wants us to make, so like it went for a while, but it's like either through, I think it's through the end of the month. It may be through October, but I don't think so. I'm gonna have to check and see, but I think it's through the end of the month at least. And if you make a garment for winter, and you have a couple sweaters going, I have a couple sweaters going. So if we make a garment that we will wear in the wintertime, and because whips are allowed, you don't have to like start something fresh. She's like all about like, like you getting stuff done.
Wherever you are in the
Right.
project.
So take your whip, and as long as it's a garment that you're going to wear, then you can, and you finish it, you can enter it in. And she's like, well, and there'll be prizes. She always has nice, fun prizes, like, because people send her stuff and then she'll send out. So I think someone's getting a sweater's quantity of yarn, like one of the things, it's like yak yarn or something. I can't remember. So there's like all these different prizes she's going to do. And I think it's really cool. And you get to see different, people making their things. So I was going to go through, I did forget to grab something. So let me go. Would you like to see what I'm going to attempt to finish before the end of the month?
Okay.
Is everything else
Yes.
I got going on? All right, hang on.
I know.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh.
So I want to look something up. I want to look something up, and then I can tell you a
All right.
well, it was funny to me, a conversation that Brian and I had yesterday.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
All right.
nice. Okay, so Brian and I was dropping him. I was taking him to the airport because he's gone back to the traveling, not a salesman, but traveling work. And he was home all summer. But now he's headed to your time zone. And we passed this little restaurant. It's or bakery, and it's for sale, which happens a lot in my little area of the world. When COVID hit, there was a lot of places that closed. And then when it didn't quite bounce back the way it had with tourism, and I still don't think we bounced back, because I think I think Alaska kind of put the kibosh on quite a few of their cruises. So we didn't have as many cruise ships coming through, if at all. I don't know. I wasn't down there this year. I wasn't down on the spit this year.
I know that there's people that have, because I know people like, have been doing it. I don't think there's been as many and stuff like that, but I know the couple of the people of, one lady was COVID isolated on her. She like was on her cruise, and then like, she partway through her cruise,
funny story. My dad is planning on coming to Alaska and doing some kind of cruise tour thing that my stepmother has put together. But he's not coming anywhere near me.
Yes. So anyway, so your bakery, what's going on? We don't have enough time left in the show. We are already at 1:19. So
I know.
We don't have enough. Okay. We don't have enough show left to unpack that.
No, we really don't. No, we don't. So I was saying like, oh, hey, look at that little restaurant for sale. He goes, oh, there's a restaurant down here. I didn't even know. I was like, hence why it's for sale. Well, and they weren't open all year round. I was like, that could totally be, because we had just had another conversation about future planning things.
Right.
And I was like, there you go. That could be your second act with, having that deli. And he was like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like, and I said, or, yarn store for me. Like, I was like, I could get some exotic yarns in there. I was like, some Quivet or some yak. And he goes, why would yarn make you yak? I said, and I don't know if it was just the way I said it or the sentence itself. And he goes, why would you shouldn't knit with it if it makes you yak? And I'm like, oh my God, no, that's the because Quivet is musk ox fiber,
right?
So
right.
And then and those are very expensive yarns, very expensive.
Yeah, every time I tell somebody that I have, like when I was at a fiber show the one time, and they're like, telling them about my our podcast, somebody was asking about stuff, and I was just like, oh, my friend, my best friend was Alaska, and they're like, oh, well, has she knit with this? And I'm like, I don't know.
If they want to send me some, I'll knit with it.
Right? Very expensive.
But so yeah, no, it was hilarious. He was all like yak, and I was like, you know what? Never mind. Forget I said anything. Forget I said it. But I mean, I still think
that was funny. All right, let me switch around sides here, and then
switch your sides. So I think we actually got through everything that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because this is our last little bit here was what I wanted to do that. So let's see here. That and then one more.
Gosh, Heather, we found a place to stop.
Yeah, I just it decreases every other row, and so
you're in the
actually have a pen right here. So I didn't want to I wanted to turn the corner, remember to decrease, and so I am there. And then because this is a pattern I'm working on at work, and most of the time when I work on patterns at work, I don't need a pattern at all. Normally something's either in my head or I've made it enough times I don't have to. Well, this I printed up at work because I had used up all the yarn I had. So I printed this up at work.
Look at you with the analog
yeah, I don't love it because I don't like it. But my highly sophisticated 1-2 to know where I am in my pattern. But so I had to write it down because I didn't have a pen over here until just now when I brought this basket out of my bedroom that has I really am I'm on a quest to try to finish the yarn projects that I have going on, because when we went through all of my things, and I realized how many works in progress I had. So some of the stuff I finished off real quick, or I unraveled because I didn't want to. Some of these shawls I almost was tempted just to bind off right there and just, okay, look, it's a really big scarf. I gave a couple sweaters to my mom because they were really big on me, because I realized, so I have been knitting.
Downtown Cardigan, we're looking at you.
What?
I said Downtown Cardigan, we're looking at you.
Yeah. So I that one was huge. But so I had Jeremy measure me, because you really should get proper measurements, and you should have someone else do it for you. Because, and you need to measure in certain spots. Every person, if you're going to make yourself garments, you really should have all these measurements. And I measure the people in my life. So my last time I did my measurements, my arms were 15.5 inches around, and my bust was 39.
Okay.
So last night, every project I've been making is looks like it's swallowing me whole, and I couldn't figure out why. My arms are 12 inches around, and my bust is 34.
You've lost.
That's a huge difference. Oh gosh, yeah, inches, lots of inches. That was mostly due to a nice fun flare up here, but it had me reassessing some of my works in progress. Do I where I am? Do I want to keep on with this thing that's obviously huge on me, or do I want to just? And so in most cases, no was the answer. But this one right here, I'm good. And this was when I was knitting, and that's the other problem too. Is remember I was purling incorrectly and knitting incorrectly slightly, so it was elongating all my stitches, so everything was askew once I got it on. Like it was fine flat, but once the weight of the garment was there.
Right.
So this is my homecoming cardigan that I am like nearly done with.
Yeah.
So this one is definitely, it's going to be, and honestly, I don't care if the stitches come off because the sleeve is coming on. I'm losing the sleeve. So at this point, I'm going to take it off. Well, I'm losing the sleeve because I have other plans. Okay, so let's see. I will put this on for you. It's attached. Although it's not really attached anymore because it's attached by that sleeve. So this is all that is left is the sleeves and the collar. Now, I don't like this bottom here, but it's a boxy cardigan, so I think I can save this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo this neck piece because I don't really like that, and I may take this part back, like just a little bit, like just undo the seam there and just take it back, but that's not that much work. And I'm actually going to use, is it up here or is it in the basket with it? It would make too much sense if it was actually in the basket with the yarn. Because I was using recycled yarn, like yarn from another sweater. And I got to a point where it was like really pieced together. And I don't know, although it's really big, I don't know, I may have to just, I don't know.
I mean, you're talking to the wrong person right now because I love big sweaters. I mean, hi,
I do too, but it's not long, you know, but it's fun. It's boxy, so it's not bad. I think if I get this blocked right and I get the collar right, I think it'll be fun. You're right, it's probably not bad. But I think I'm gonna make the sleeves like this blue color.
Ooh.
Because it's in here, and then I don't really like the bottom, how this is down here. It's this yarn, this self-striping yarn. So I'm going to take this, once I get the sleeves done and I get everything how I want it and it's fitting, I'm going to take, and I think I'm going to make this ribbed, like a long rib. So it sucks it in a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's not, like, you can put a zipper on it if you want or something, but I think it's still cute. I like it. I just think that, I think it's just like here, like, you know, it'll get better when you block it and it's shaped, but.
I agree. I think it can be saved. And if you don't think so, I will gladly take that sweater.
All right. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to do some fixing, but that's not anything that I'm like concerned about doing. I mean, I guess because this was all knit, knit one piece. I mean, if not, I can always make it again, but I'm gonna try. Because worst case scenario, maybe you get a sweater. But yeah, so I think that's
this was hand knit, not by me, but it was hand knit.
It was hand knit by somebody. Yeah. So that's my plan for that. Or I don't think I have enough of this yarn though, because this is the yarn that I used for the color work part of it. So it would do its own thing, but I think that would be too busy with all the color work on it. So, but I don't like, because this was like stranded at the bottom and I didn't like that as much, but I do look forward to making something out of this. This would be fun hat or something. So. But anyway, so that's my, I'm going, so if you are on Instagram, she's on Facebook too, the Cozy Cottage Crochet. She has a Ravelry and also, and that's where the chatter is for that. And then she's got a YouTube channel, which is where I watch her podcast. It's normally like about an hour long every other week. So
link it all up.
I will link it up below, and then I think that so anyways, I just encouraging people to join along. I'm going to try to knock that homecoming cardi out. That would be fun, something that because I mean, she's right, we work on these projects and then like sometimes like we don't work on like big things in the summertime because you know, we don't, you're just making like socks and hats and like quick things, quick small things.
I mean, unless of course you live in Alaska, and then you're still making socks and hats and shawls and Afghans and
well, you know, there are people that I know that don't knit and crochet every day, or don't, like, not every day, every time, like, but like I've asked a couple of my friends, like, so what do you got going on, that I know are knitters and crocheters in the wintertime, and they're both like, both of them were like, oh, I'm sorry, it's summer, we don't have projects going on. And I'm like, what do you mean, you know, are you done with all of your things? Like, I don't know, what do you, this no projects thing, this is a foreign concept to me, like, no projects.
Yeah, and
it almost gives me a little anxiety. Like, did you run out of yarn? Like, why is there no projects?
There are 2 seasons in Alaska: fishing season and everything else inside season. So you're knitting, you're crocheting, you're catching up on your books. Great. You're binging all the shows that you didn't watch over the summer. Excellent. That is it. Because when the summer comes, it is use up that midnight sun. Literally, I watched Brian take off and go fishing at 2 a.m.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, I don't spend a lot of time in the sun.
I'm like, have a good time.
But yeah, but that's because I'm allergic to the sun.
I am too. I'll shrivel up and die. I'll go from lobster to freckle. I do. All right. It's about that time.
It is about that time. We are at 1:31. Yes. So, all right, folks.
Visit us online. We are just as funny off the camera as we are on.
We really are.
Except for when Heather's freezing. What?
I said we are. If you like this, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you're seeing this on YouTube with the replay, or even if you're watching the replay on Facebook, we're thanking you for watching. And please, you know, you can give us a thumbs up, subscribe, or turn on the notifications, or whatever platform you're on. Gosh, that makes it really hard when you're doing it on multiple platforms. We encourage you to follow us online. I am Heather Spins a Yarn everywhere except for Twitter, and I'm not active on Twitter, so don't go there looking for me. You're not going to find anything.
I did it right this time.
Nicole? You did. I know, right? And we're done.
I'm so proud of me. And also, I don't have to be Brady Bunch-like today.
Oh, no, she does not like more on Instagram.
I do not like. I mean, yes, but no. It's really more of a no. It's a no from me. I'm Simon Cowell on this one. It's a no from me. So
I think since we can link stuff with like the link thing now on stories, it's not as bad. You can put links in, and that's awesome. So
yeah, and we're expanding. We're expanding. So
we're trying.
I mean, soon enough we'll be here, and we'll be like, and you can find us on and all of the places, because we know that not everybody has their favorite space.
They do.
Everybody has their favorite social network. Hear that, so Zuckerberg? Right now we're trying to... It's not all about you. Sorry.
You can find Nicole everywhere as Know It All Nikki. You can also find her as NLS Creative. She does do professional writing and jazz and helping you get yourself all squared away.
I don't make a fool of myself online. I do write. Sometimes they pay me.
Oh Lord. All right, so we fun time. We're slap happy, and it's the Midwestern goodbye all over again. So we come to you live every other Thursday, schedule pending, and after that, then it's all good. But we will also probably be hosting at least once a month some live stitch-alongs soon. So look forward to it.
Yes. We're still figuring out where we're going to put that, but yes.
It's the 4-hour time difference and the lack of light that we're going to have soon. So
it's a very cloudy day here.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but things are flashing on my end. Like I keep going out, you keep going out, I keep going out, you keep going out. So I'm not sure what's going on, but we're just going to wrap this up. It's only on the one thing. So, all right. Well, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for putting up for it with us, especially this long, long goodbye, but that's okay. It's all good. Happy knitting,
okay.
creating, crocheting, spinning, whatever you do, whatever makes you happy.
Stitching.
Have a good day. Yep.
Bye.
Bye.